So I'm Tyus, and I'm here to speak to you about Norway today. Now, a few things to start off where it's located. It's located in Oslo, Norway, at a latitude of about 59 and a longitude of about 10. And it's got a roughly 75 feet elevation. Now, here's a normal map of Oslo. Here is it's the subway, and this is the bus routes. So as you can see, there's a lot of public transportation, as you'd expect for a large city. Now, it was ranked #1 in the terms of living quality, but then again, it was also ranked #2 in expenses. So it's really something you have to think about. While there's a lot of quality, you're paying a lot for it. Now, here is a climate graph, and it's a lot of information, so I'll cover it for you simply. There's year-round precipitation. Temperatures range from about 15 degrees Celsius in the summer to around -5 in the winter. There's a lot of frost, snow during the winter. There's a reasonably high relative humidity, and there are reasonably low sunlight hours, but also long daylight hours, depending on where in the year you are. And all around, there's a very average low wind speed. Now, a large factor in building is considering the sun. And this one, it's a bit boring, so let's go to a 3D model. Now, as you can see, in the summer, while it rises high, it's not particularly high. And in the winter, it's very low, with, middling between them. So what do you want to be considering? The fact that it's very cold in the winter. So you definitely want windows and other energy collections south-facing towards where the sun will be in the middle of the day. And in the summer, when it's a bit hotter, depending on what you're heating the house with and what other factors you have, you may want to have some sort of mechanism to block a lot of the sun coming in during that time. Now, I've got a few images of homes for you, just to have a bit of a selection, and they're really quite varied. You have something more modern, like this. You have some old, nice-looking houses. There are some more sort of mixed contemporary and old styles. And you have the usual sort of apartment concrete buildings. And you've noticed that there are varying amounts of construction materials, as long as it's well insulated, which is the main point. It gets very cold. You want to make sure that it's heated. It's your top priority. As long as you have that, the outside facing doesn't really matter. You can do with it what you want. Now, going into nice landscape features, there are a few, but as it's such a large area, they really vary. And I like this picture because it has a few different ones. You see the mountains going across the background. You have the water features in the beginning. And you can see right over here in the corner, you have some woodland. So really, vision on them will depend on where in the city you decide to build the house. Now, looking at natural hazards, which is a large issue, Norway is at risk from all of these things, but you don't really have to worry about them a lot, because Oslo, being in the south of Norway, is at a much lower risk from all of them. So, as opposed to the rest of it, it's relatively safe, and you don't have to worry about much. Now, renewable energy features, something which is becoming more and more popular these days. 98% of Norway's electricity production comes from renewable sources. That will be mostly hydropower, but also solar and wind. And these are some statistics from 2013. Norway produced 134 terawatt hours, of renewable energy, and by comparison, Oslo consumes only around 9 a year. So all of your power needs will be met by the country's production of renewables. Thanks, I've been Tyus, speaking to you about Oslo.